I can feel the anticipation building, which is why I love doing these Smackoff profiles, because it continues to build that anticipation. Yesterday, remember, I profiled the GOAT, the BIC, Brad and Corona. Today, I profile the GOAT before the GOAT. The GOAT before the GOAT. Kind of like Sean McVay before Sean McVay. Except, unlike Brian Schottenheimer, Shawnee the Cablinasian really was the GOAT before the GOAT. My man Sean truly is one of the best to ever do it. So good, in fact, he's also one of the clones to parlay their successful calling career into a very successful hosting career. And Sean's resume speaks for itself. He has the second most Smackoff wins ever with 5. He was the first clone to ever repeat as a Smackoff champ. The first clone to ever three-peat as a Smackoff champ. Essentially, he had the first Smackoff dynasty ever when he had 4 wins in a 5-year period between 2003 and 2007. However, what I want to do here is I want to start by going all the way back to his first ever Smackoff call, all the way back to 1998. Shawnee debuted with a 4th place finish at Smackoff number 4. Here's how it sounded back in the day.
1998, 4th annual Smackoff. Gotta keep this thing moving along. Biggest day of the year in the jungle. Hope you're keeping score at home. Hope you took the day off. All right, let's go to it. We go to the Cablinasian, Sean in Houston.
Rome, it is a privilege to be included in the biggest radio extravaganza of the year. Now, you know, Rome, in my time as a jungle dweller, it's like going to school. I've learned a lot. I mean, just in the last year, I've learned things like all Utah callers have the personality of a dish rag. I've learned that there is a part of me that really does want to eat the other half of the sandwich. And I've learned that John Candy is alive and well and living in Youngstown under the alias J in Y-Town. Now, here in H-Town, Jim, smack has basically become our 3rd professional sport. And the only downside as a smack runner that I see to it, the paychecks aren't quite as nice as, say, baseball or basketball. I mean, I've called this show dozens of times in the last year, and I have yet to get a W-2 from Premier Radio, and I have yet to find a 1040 form that has a place for me to claim Metrex nutrition packs and cartons of Aura Blast or DirecTV T-shirts as compensation.
Metrex. Man, you gotta love the 90s jungle. You gotta love the 90s jungle just as you gotta love that Shawnee is still around. Still around, still a threat, still a contender 27 years after his Smackoff debut. Yeah, yes, I understand that he's a professional, but he had a 12-year hiatus. He did take 12 years off, and he launched a radio career after that epic three-peat, parlayed that into a great career. Now, that might be the most impressive thing about Sean. He came back after a decade-plus hiatus as strong as ever. He came back like he never left. Sean took 12 years off, and then he stormed back into the jungle with a 4th place finish at Smackoff 25 in 2019.
Also, yes, I know. I am bald, I am fat, and you're all wondering how much I'm paying my fiance. I get it. Go ahead. You see, you guys can Google my ass and find material for days. That's the advantage you guys have on me, an advantage that you will undoubtedly fumble away the same way all of you not named Brad have for the last decade. Try Googling Mike in Indy. Try Googling Mark in Boston. All you get are Craigslist links for a bunch of guys nicknamed Sully selling printer cartridges out of the back of their Buick LeSabre in Southie. Even Brad and Corona, the famous Brad and Corona. You Google Brad and your browser turns into a Money in the Bank match of douchey UC Riverside frat boys.
Of all of Sean's impressive jungle accomplishments, his consistency might be his biggest strength, because the dude has never missed a top 10. Never. He's called into 15 Smackoffs, and he's had 15 top 10 finishes. In fact, he's never even finished worse than 7th. It's almost like he should get a job talking for a living or something. So my favorite Sean call since his triumphant return from the jungle also got him his most recent podium finish, which is when he came in 3rd in Smackoff 27. The reason the call was so good and so unique is that Sean managed to hit the podium while turning his smack, his best smack, on himself.
As for the rest of you, there's really nothing you can say about me that's going to bother me. He's bald, he's fat, he's on his 2nd marriage, he's got the testosterone level of a teenage girl. I'm reminded of all of those things every day that I'm on the radio because I've done what every middle-aged morning drive host in a capitalist society should do. I have turned all my flaws into endorsement money. My fatness, my baldness, my earth-shaking snoring, my microscopic testosterone level. I have turned them all into sponsors and a bunch of money bag emojis. You asshats. My flaws are putting my kids through college. I win. And my hope is that this inspires all of you to do the same.
See what I mean? This guy can land one on anybody at any time, even himself. The dude is a machine, a pro, literally, and one of the best to ever do it. He is a threat to win anytime he calls. And I am so looking forward to see him showing up on the day of to bring his best. Does his best beat the BIC's best? We're going to find out at Smackoff 30, because believe me, this guy has got plenty left, and I'm guessing we do get the best of Shawnee, you know, like this.
1998 was the first time I was invited to the Smackoff, and here I am, 3 kids, 2 marriages, and 5 titles later, and this never, ever gets old. I win more than anybody because I am the best at this. Always have been, always will be.
I love the story this week about Jason Williams taking that writer's pen hostage because the guy supposedly misquoted him. Of course you were misquoted. Dude, nobody can understand a freaking word you say. Like, give the guy his pen back. Like you're ever going to write with anything other than a crayon or a can of spray paint. The Smackoff is upon us, and when I get number 4 today, I can tell you right now it's going to be better than sex with George Carl's wife. Bobby in Brooklyn. Where I come from, Bobo, we have a word for someone in New York City who speaks good English, okay? A visitor. Who's the best-looking Van Gundy brother? By the way, if your brother looks like Ron Jeremy and you're considered the ugly one, maybe time to get that face transplant, Jeff. Masters champ Phil Mickelson, who took the timeless art of slump busting to a whole new level when he bypassed hopping on a heavy-set gnarly babe and decided to go ahead, grow a rack, and actually become one himself. Otis, my man, you're a pretty good caller already. But I got to tell you, when you finally learn to speak English, dude, you're going to be unstoppable.
I'm a huge Big Papi fan, I got to tell you. So it's been a rough couple weeks. The shooting totally messed me up, and I come to find out it was a case of mistaken identity. So naturally, the first thought that I have is, what beef could Esther Roll have possibly had with the Dominican drug cartel?
I took a torch that was passed by my predecessors, names like Ditola and Iafredi and Ditola and Iafredi. What the hell is Eustacia going to be able to teach NBA players, right? All he did was get drunk and lick a few co-eds. The average NBA player was doing that at like age 3. Just like to shout out to all you tennis fans who are pissed because Anna Kournikova had to withdraw from Wimbledon because of a back injury this week. Look, the woman spends an inordinate amount of time on her back, okay? This is bound to happen sooner or later. Get over it. I hate people who say that Brian Cashman has the hardest job in sports. People think his job is hard because he looks like he has 2 chocolate-covered donuts around his eyes and because he has this perpetual look on his face like he just saw CeCe Sabathia getting out of the shower. I mean, Cashman's job is more unbearable than having to sit next to Digger Phelps for 2 hours a night. Reese Davis would probably beg to differ. I got to read the article about Jay Stu in the Daily News this morning. I wanted to point out my favorite quote. It's amazing how little my college education has to do with this. Stu, you went to Fullerton. Of course your college education has little to do with your job. There's no spatula involved. The champ is here.
There's no spatula involved. Adam Rank's not going to think that's funny. Although I thought that was hilarious. Shawnee Smack was so good. Think about that. That's all Smack that predates all of this. He was so far ahead of his time. This is why he was the original GOAT, the original dynasty. The reason why he's a legend, a 5-time champ. And when I say the original dynasty, it's just, that stuff is still so funny today and so dated. So dated. But nobody was saying or doing things like that when he was saying and doing things like that. And he can still bring it. So I want to see what it's like on the 31st. Smackoff 30. I know you want that strap, champ. I know you want it. I know you have it in you. Would not surprise me if you were to rise up and rip that thing. This is what I love, man. I love that the BIC is already in RSVPing, paying attention. I know that Shawnee is in and paying attention. So that would be something. Man, this is the one you want. Number 30. Number 30. You know why you want number 30? Especially if you're somebody like that, because you want to show that you're still that much of a badass. You still have that kind of game. You still are that dangerous. All these years later, you are still that dangerous. I guarantee he wants number 30. And I guarantee he wants that custom wingman watch too, because who wouldn't?